Hey everyone, my name's Ben and welcome to the Expat Blueprint, the platform educating expats to financial freedom. So I'm really excited to be here because in all honesty, this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, but probably due to a few nerves and maybe being slightly camera shy, it's just something that I've kept putting off. So I'm glad I finally got myself up and running. I think it's been a really long time coming. So I thought today would be a good opportunity for everyone to sort of get to know me a little bit, understand my backstory, the reasons why I've set up this channel, and just what my hopes and aspirations are for the Expat Blueprint. So like you now know, my name's Ben, I'm 31 years old, and you can probably tell from my accent that I'm originally from London. But for the last 8 years, I've been living with my wife Vicky, and now more recently my son Bradley as expats in Abu Dhabi, which is in the UAE. Abu Dhabi and our whole expat journey has been amazing. We've loved every minute of it. The people we've met, the traveling we've done, like all the fun we've had along the way. It's literally been a ball. And it's just crazy how time flies by. Rewinding back a few years before coming out to the UAE, I left school and followed my childhood dream of being a professional rugby player, hence the dodgy ears and the banged up nose. I was actually really surprised that when I came out to the UAE, I was able to carry on playing rugby. And it was allowed me to travel all around the Arabian Gulf and Asia, competing for not just the local team in Abu Dhabi, but the UAE national team. Away from the pitch over the last 8 years, I've been a financial planner, helping expats take care of all of their financial needs. I'm hoping I look slightly different to what your perception of a financial planner might be, as most of them I come across are quite old, grey-haired, suited and booted. You're definitely never going to catch me wearing a shirt and tie on this channel anytime soon. Alongside my working life, I've just finished my MBA at Cass Business School, and I've sat all my exams making me a certified financial planner, or CFP for short, which I'm sure probably means absolutely nothing to you. But what it does mean is that I'm just qualified to very high standard in the UK to do my job. Anyway, so what is the Expat Blueprint and where am I going with it all? I'm setting up the Expat Blueprint to help expats on their journey to financial independence. Look, I get it. Most people would rather probably stick pins in their eyes than sit and listen to a personal finance video. But you need to realise that the world is changing, and I want to show you how you can break the mould. You don't have to follow the traditional path of working the standard 9 to 5 for 40 years just so that you can eventually put your feet up when you're 60, 65. You can become financially independent so much sooner. I'm talking your 30s and your 40s. Imagine that. Let's be honest. How many people actually love what they do? Well, becoming financially independent buys you freedom, whether that's fully stopping work, a career change, starting a business, traveling the world, volunteering, spending more time on your passions. The choice is really yours. It just depends whether you want it or not. All of us expats have left our home countries and families to move abroad and start a new life. Part of that is to travel the world, see new places, experience new cultures. Not even having to bear the freezing weather in the UK and so on. But the recurring thing that I always hear when talking to my clients or friends is that they left because they were given the opportunity to progress their careers and earn more money. They left their current jobs, their family and their homes with the hope that they could create a better future. Was this part of your thinking? Because I know it certainly was for me. However, very rarely do I come across an expat and they go, Ben, guess what? I'm absolutely smashing it. I'm saving all this money, I'm investing regularly. I'm going to be able to quit my job in the X number of years. Unfortunately, the more familiar story for expats is they get started earning more money and then 3 things usually happen. First, and the most common, is that we just increase our spending in line with our increased earnings. And therefore, we're not actually much better off than we were when we were home. Look, brunches, nights out, holidays, online shopping. Look, don't stress, we're all guilty of it. Secondly, if we do save, we just save in the bank. A bank account either in the country that we're living in, or we send it back home, as we just don't know what else to do with it. Don't worry, it's not going to be long before on this channel you'll realise that you could be doing so much than just saving in a regular bank account. Thirdly, you get introduced to a financial advisor, and you're just hoping that this person knows what they're talking about and that they have your best interests at heart, which unfortunately isn't the case for so many expats around the world. I know this because when you mention the words financial advisor, you get the feeling that people would rather spend time with someone with an infectious disease than sit down with a financial planner. Well, I'm creating this YouTube channel and this podcast to flip this all on its head, because whether you like it or not, you need to have some sort of understanding of personal finance. Whilst we're all very different some ways, deep down, we're all the same. There's going to come a time for all of us when we can't work anymore, or we might want to start a family, or buy a property or achieve some other dream and aspiration. Unfortunately, it just isn't going to happen by itself. You need to be intentional about what you want and put a plan in place. Having a grasp of what you need to do financially will help you on your way and speed up the process of getting the life you actually want. Now, I don't blame people for ignoring the importance of personal finance up until now, because personally I feel we're let down by our education system. It just fails to deliver any of the important principles needed to succeed financially. It's just sort of assumed that once you enter the real adult world, you just pick up along the way everything you need to know about personal finance. But there is a real lack of resources or pathways for people to actually learn. On top of that, you have a financial profession that characteristically makes things super complicated so that they can continue to charge you large fees for their services. Well, let me tell you, it really isn't that complicated. To put it simply, what I want to do is make you the mechanics of your financial future. What I mean by this, so when your car breaks, well, if you're anything like me, your heart absolutely sinks. This is because I know I've got to take it to a garage and find a mechanic who can fix it. One I'm just hoping won't rip me off. When you get to the garage, they have a quick look under the bonnet and they tell you that they're going to give you a call when they know what's wrong with it. They ring you and you just know it's not going to be good news. Let's be honest, it never actually is. They come up with a price and they ask you whether you want to proceed or not. Well, do I have another choice? I know nothing about cars and I'm just praying this fella does. Does this sound familiar to anyone with regards to their financial affairs? I want to turn you into the mechanic of your financial future, so you become capable to do a lot of the work yourself, not necessarily relying on anyone else. However, if you do need to approach a financial institution or professional, like you would get in contact with a garage to get a spare part, you're going in there loaded, knowing exactly what you need and what you should be paying. I mean, how does that sound? It might seem strange coming from a financial planner saying this, and you're probably listening thinking, look, where's the catch? Or I mean, why is he even doing this? However, I'm determined to change the perception of my industry and lead the way for qualified financial planners to help expats on their journey. Too often, people ignore their financial needs and bury their heads in the sand because they don't think they're capable of doing it themselves and they don't want to ask for direction. That needs to stop. I absolutely love being an expat. I've met some of the most incredible people along the way who have gone above and beyond to help me along my journey. So I feel it's time for me to actually give back. I want to create this really inclusive community where expats from all around the globe are able to support each other through their financial journey, building and sharing knowledge as we all chase down the ultimate dream of being financially independent. Whatever stage of your wealth building you're in, just jump on board and get started. This is for everyone, and I mean everyone. Financial planning has such a stigma attached to it as if it's only the wealthy that need it. And that just certainly isn't true. That also goes for people who feel they're too young and can worry about it later on in life, or people who feel that they're slightly older and they feel like it's just too late to get started. Like what's the point? Well, it is true. The earlier you start, the less you actually have to do. But on the flip side, it's never too late to get started. If you are staring at the last 5 years until you stop working, well, let's make it the most effective years yet. This channel will make things super simple. We'll talk in a language that we all understand, and I'll make sure to keep things lighthearted. I'll save you having to read all the boring stuff that I've had to learn in my career, and I'll give you the information in a way you understand, and in a way that you can apply it straight away. That's the biggest thing for me. I want you to feel like you can take action. So if you're determined to make the most of your expat opportunity, or you're tired of feeling disappointed or underwhelmed by your financial position, then you're at the right place. Hit the subscribe button and ensure you don't miss out on any of our videos or podcasts, and head over to our website www.expatblueprint.com and sign up to our weekly email, and stay tuned for more resources coming your way. I'm excited to have you guys on board, and I look forward to getting to know you all as time goes on. Please get in touch if you have any questions that you need answered or things that you want me to cover on this channel. That is exactly what the Expat Blueprint is about. See you guys in the next video.